I got the OnePlus Nord 5 with the 12 gig of RAM and 512 gig of storage. So this is one of the, I would say, budget phones in like a medium range, but with some, I would say, very cool features. So let's check it out. And inside the box we literally have the phone and manuals and the cable. And the cable we see in a nice red style. So the phone itself comes with three different colors, which you know, I'm very hard to pronounce. I don't know why they just not call it, you know, gray, white, and others. Like, what the heck? So the phone comes with three colors, which is the marble sands, dry ice, and this one, which is actually called the phantom gray. For those of you who don't know how to use that colors, it's kind of like a gray slash dark blue and beige, I think, yeah, ish. So let's see it. Nice, look at this. Pretty decent, and obviously you're interested in the back. So the phantom gray, it's actually pretty nice. I think like it is a decent color. I can see that they went with the plastic on the back now, so it's not metal anymore from the previous models. I'm not sure what to think of it. Maybe first it makes the phone a little bit lighter, so that will be the first one. But except that, I think they're trying to go for like a, you know, a sleek design, so it kind of, you know, it's simple, it's elegant, it's not too kind of complicated as well, and it's nice. Okay, so I can see it's unfortunately holding on the camera, which is not on the flat. So that's something which I lately don't like, because it's not really, you know, nice, especially when you put phone like that. And obviously you don't want to hold your phone like that all the time with the screen down, right? So yeah. When it comes to the spec of this phone, let's talk some specs. So obviously when it comes to the display, we have the 6.83-inch LTPO AMOLED with 1.K resolution, and the resolution of this phone, it's actually 1272 by 2800 with a 450 ppi, and I can see that when it comes to the nits, they say it goes up to 1500. That's decent. It's not like the brightest, but it will do the job in the SAP. I can see that the refresh rate when it comes to the spec, it's 144 Hz, which is decent, but we're gonna test it, because from what I saw, it's not actually keeping that 144 Hz, but it's actually, you know, keeping it on a lower version of that. So yeah, I think we'll have to see it through. So it comes in two versions, so you can grab the 8 gig of RAM with 256 gig of storage, or 12 gig of RAM and 512. This is a 512 version. So we're gonna actually test it out and see how it looks and works. It weighs around 211 grams, which is, you know, decent for, you know, 6.8-inch phone. And you can see it is a pretty bigger phone, because obviously, like when you compare it to some of the, you know, Samsung or iPhones, it is slightly large, but like if you like large displays, then yeah, this is a good one. So when it comes to the processor, this has the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3, which in general, it is a good, I would say, a budget processor. It does have a pretty good Antutu score, as it actually scores 1.6 mil plus on the Antutu score, which is, you know, decent, I think, and it does handle like a, you know, 4K editing as well, and heavy apps, so you can actually do quite a lot on this Snapdragon. When it comes to the system, it runs the Oxygen OS 15, which is built on the Android 15, which you know, it's a pretty good in the use. Like, you can do a lot of features that also OnePlus has, which I'm going to show you, like for example this OnePlus extra button, and it also has the update. So I went through the specification, and I can see it has 4 years of the Android updates and 6 years of security one, which is a pretty good standard. So before I go to the camera, I think one of the positive thing about this phone, this has a 68 100 milliampere hours battery. So that's a good one for a 6.8-inch a display. Having the 6800 milliampere hours battery, it's a very positive thing. So I saw on the website it can last up to like 19 or up to 20 hours of YouTube, which is pretty decent, or like 5 hours of gaming. But you can also use the kind of like a bypass gaming mode, which, you know, it's pretty good one. So thanks to it, it's not kind of draining the battery. So yeah, I think almost 7,000 milliampere hours battery, that is a plus. So when it comes to the charging, that's I would say a very positive thing. It supports 80-watt charging, which means you can just charge it in probably less than an hour. I think that probably will be it. So yeah, that is a very, very decent one. And obviously, like if you use it 80-watt charger all the time, it's not, you know, healthy for the battery. That's why like they always kind of reduce it. So probably the 80 watts at the beginning. But it is a very decent thing. So you rarely see, you know, over 60-watt wired charging on it. And I haven't seen that it has a wireless charging. So that's a minus for me. When it comes to the speakers, I can see it has a stereo dual speakers. So here and here, which is pretty interesting. And when it comes to the SIM, I was negatively surprised it doesn't have an eSIM compatibility. So, well, yeah, it's alright. So it has the normal dual SIM, which is okay, because obviously you can still put 2 SIM cards. But like I'm also thinking that, you know, the eSIM is kind of becoming a standard right now. So yeah, that is a minus for me as well. So now let's look into the camera, and also let's into the gaming. So we're gonna do the camera test and then the gaming test. So when it comes to the cameras, on the front you have a 50 megapixel ISOCELL GN5 selfie camera with the OnePlus 13 series HDR and natural algorithm. It supports 4K 60 frames per second video capturing, which is decent, I think, for all those, you know, selfie videos and TikTok videos that people are actually grabbing. And on the back you actually have the 8 megapixel ultra wide camera with 116 field of view and the 50 megapixel Sony lit 700 main with OIS and 2x zoom. It also supports 4K 60 frames per second with the autofocus. So let's actually test out those cameras. So you can see that I'm gonna test on my plans, and I can immediately choose, like, you know, some smart scenes and stuff like that, but we're not doing the smart scenes, we're just testing the normal capabilities. So 0.6, 1, which is 24 millimeter, decent, and 2x, which is 48 millimeter. Nice one. And how close we can go with the zoom? It is decent. Look, this is actually very, very decent. All right, so let me see. Can we go into some other modes? So we have the night, high resolution, panorama, long exposure. So no macro modes, which is surprising, but well, yeah, I think I'm just so used to the macro so much that yeah. So now video, and we can start with the 0.6. Yeah, it is pretty decent. Obviously we're recording now in low light, right? So 1x is much, much better. So I can see the difference is huge here. And the 2x is nice. The actual focus, it's very decent. Wow, it is actually pretty cool. No, it's nice. So 4K, 1x video, and 2x. That's actually nice. And the 4K, it's actually very good quality. Decent. Alright, so testing the photo and the selfie on the selfie. So let's see how it looks. So now this is the 0.8. I can choose a 1x and I can choose 2x. Decent. That's decent. I can also check the portrait mode on 0.8. Pretty wide, pretty decent. 1x. Nice. And I can also adjust the depth of field. So kind of adjusting how blurry is the background, which is pretty pretty alright, working pretty well, I would say. So now, video. So I'm gonna start with 1080p and 0.x. So you can see it is nice actually. It is actually very nice. 1x. Okay, and 2x. It's not as, you know, pretty well lit, and I can see it's a little bit kind of not fully focused, but well, I can understand. It's a 2x zoom. Now let's test out the 4K and 0.8. 1x is pretty decent. Like the selfie here, it's very nice. I think it's very nice, even if I'm adjusting the light, it's pretty cool. Ooh, on the 2x and the 4K, it actually looks very good. Wow, this is actually impressive. Okay, this is nice. I think the camera on the OnePlus, it's very good. Like, I'm so positively impressed, you know, by it. Wow, this is nice. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna test out some gaming. So I'm gonna test out the PUBG mobile, and we're gonna see like how does it actually hold with the gaming. So I turned on the Pro Gamer mode, which should pump the actual you know, performance. I can also see that it has a performance boost, and I can even put it on the hyper resolution, you know. So I can see that currently it is running on like a, you know, 60 frames per second, which is, you know, okay. It's on the Pro mode gaming, so in general it should run on a higher one. Okay, so I can see that the game runs smooth in like 60 frames per second. It is very smooth, and yeah, it is a decent experience, I would say. The warmth of the phone, it's okay. You can definitely feel it's definitely warmer, but it is decent. It's not too warm, or it's not, you know, unpleasant. You can also turn on the bypass charging, which means you can play the games while connected to power and bypass the batteries. The battery is actually not getting damaged while playing, and should also manage the temperature better. So that is a good one. Like, I think that's a very positive thing. Like, yeah, the experience of playing, it's very nice, it's very smooth, no issues. Okay, so the gaming, pretty decent. I think 60 frames per second, it's alright. I think you can bump it up to 90 max, but like it's not much more. So let's check out the speakers as well, and let's see if it's actually holding nicely. Let's put on some YouTube. Speakers are decent. The loudness is pretty nice. Obviously, it is not like an extremely, you know, high quality. Like, you cannot expect it from a budget phone, but I think it's decent. So yeah, like for a basic of this, and this is pretty cool. So the price of it is like £499, which I think it's a very reasonable pricing. And yeah, I think it's a decent phone. Not too high on the spec, but it's definitely making pretty good photos. So photos are positive. My summary, I think the minus is the wireless charging. I do like wireless charging, and the photos are pretty impressive. So this is definitely a +1. 80-watt charging, that's a very good one for me with a 6,800 battery. My overview, I do like it, and I think it's a very good choice for the budget. Remember to like and follow for more, you know, reviews on my channel, and help me actually reach my next goal, which is actually that first 1,000 subscribers. See you soon!
MadTechTalk, tech so fly. Breaking down gear, let's amplify. Sub like, don't miss a thing. Tech reviews with a little bling. We out for now, but stay tuned. More fire tech is dropping soon.